to go through this topic. So a huge welcome to all of you here. Welcome to the teams. Welcome to the audience. So before we start, we have to go over the rules and guidelines, just so that everyone keeps it clean and no one says something out of turn. Next slide, please. Okay. So we have the agenda. So I will be doing the opening statement. Then we're going to do the team introductions, the debate rules. Actually, the debate rules first, then team introductions, opening statements by the teams, and then rebuttals. Next slide, please. So for today, our teams are from two chapters, one from Zimbabwe and the other one is from Cameroon. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the rules and guidelines for today. These are for everyone involved, the teams and the audience. Please be respectful, challenge the issue, be mindful and understanding, don't be insulting, no offensive language, give everyone a chance to speak. Raise your hand if you want to speak. To the two teams, you have 2 minutes to state your point. Please stick to the topic, mute yourself if you're not speaking. If you are able to, you can switch on your camera, and no personal attacks or references. Let's stick to the facts, the evidence, and the stats. Next slide, please. So to the two teams, this is the scoring system that we use. So for the judges are me and Good Luck. So we're going to judge you based on these 5 criteria. One is argumentation. How well do you present your arguments, your evidence and reasoning? Rebuttal. Item number 2 is rebuttal. How effectively do you respond to your opponent's arguments and counter their points? Organization. How well structured and clear are your arguments and presentations? Number 4 is delivery. How effective are the debaters in communicating your message and engaging with the audience and handling questions? And then lastly, evidence. We need to hear evidence. We need to see evidence. Did you use credible sources and data to support your argument? So those are the 5 items that we look at. And then also a bonus point, respect and decorum. Please let us respect each other. Let's not bash each other's governments or anything like that. Let us respect each other and stick to the matter at hand. Are we all clear?
Yes,
okay.
we're clear.
Okay. So to the audience, you can drop your perspectives and your thoughts in the chat box available once I direct you to. Okay, so let's get into this. So we have cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is an ongoing thing that is happening in our countries lately. It's a new way of money. So instead of the usual traditional way of paying and receiving money, we have cryptocurrency where it's digital money basically. So cryptocurrency is rapidly growing across Africa, especially in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. Many Africans use crypto for cross-border payments, savings against inflation, and financial inclusion. Now, those who support cryptocurrency would argue that cryptocurrency would revolutionize African economies by reducing dependence on unstable currencies and limited banking systems, whereas others would argue that volatility, regulation gaps, scams, and lack of infrastructure may make it risky and unsustainable to use cryptocurrency as a primary economic solution. So that is a bit about today's summary. So the topic for today is cryptocurrency is the future of African economies. This is a yes or no question. So Team Zimbabwe is arguing yes, it is the future of African economies, whereas Team Cameroon argues no, it is not the future of African economies. So, so let us start with this conversation with Team Zimbabwe. Yes, you say that yes, it is the future of African economies. Why do you say that? So let's start with your opening statement, and then after that, we will go to Cameroon and hear why they say no to this statement. So the floor is open, the floor is yours. A representative from Team Zimbabwe, please state your case to the audience. Please drop your comments and your perspectives in the chat box. So Team Zimbabwe, go ahead. Hello, is there a representative from Team Zimbabwe? Okay, yes, Tinashe, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Allow me to first start by unpacking the debate topic itself. When it is saying it is the future, we are saying, yes, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but certainly cryptocurrency, it is the future for tomorrow. And as Team Zimbabwe, we are supporting that. Cryptocurrency is the future for tomorrow. Why are we saying it is the future for tomorrow? We want to look at it from a point of the market capitalization of the top 10 cryptocurrencies that we have. That's your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Binance Coin, your Tether, your Polkadot, etc., etc. We are looking at, for instance, Bitcoin itself. It's the market capitalization currently. It stays at over 500 billion. By 500 billion, it means it is already a world economy on its own as Bitcoin. So to that effect, and remember, this is new. Cryptocurrency is the new technology of money that is coming in. And as you are aware, with technology, it might not be relevant today, but tomorrow certainly the future. That's the future where we want to go. And unfortunately, it is also unstoppable. Look at your when your WhatsApp were introduced. Look at your when the internet itself was introduced. You know, we had churches that were against the internet. We had churches that were against WhatsApp. We had people who were against these new technologies being introduced. But going further, they later then adopted these cryptocurrencies. They later adopted these new technologies. So why do we say it is the future we're saying the future in the sense that we are fully aware that in terms of technology, it also works in hands with the level and growth of our democratic systems in Africa. As we speak, we are still young. It might not be okay now. For example, we also have very volatile economies like DRC, for instance, and your Sudan and South Sudan, for instance, where it's still volatile. The democracies are still young and they are still volatile. But tomorrow, we are certain that tomorrow DRC will be like South Africa, where it's stable. Tomorrow, Sudan will be like Egypt, where it's very stable. And in these economies, cryptocurrency will surely thrive. And it is our humble submission that cryptocurrency is the future. Why are we saying it is the future? It's going to provide us with smart contracts, some global transactions, and also some inflation resistance. So these are our humble submissions as Team Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then for Team Cameroon, what are your thoughts? So you argue it's actually not for the future. So what is your opening statement? Why do you say no, cryptocurrency is not the future of African economies?
Cryptocurrency is not the future of African economy. Good afternoon, to the moderator. Good afternoon to Team Zimbabwe, and good afternoon to my fellow colleagues from Cameroon. Here we stand against the fact that cryptocurrency is part of the African economy, the future of African economy. First of all, it has foundational problems. Cryptocurrency was introduced to Africa not on a solid foundation, but mostly many Africans were deceived on using cryptocurrency. Like for example, Bitcoin became like a Ponzi scheme, and so anything that is not built on a firm and just foundation, despite the fact that technology is evolving, but when the foundation is not true, it can never stand. So cryptocurrency is not part of it's not the future of African economy. Secondly, it is too volatile in the sense that its rate keep changing. It is not stable, and so it cannot be used in the real market. So it cannot be the future of the African economy. And looking at it, if Africa will consider cryptocurrency as part of its future, first of all, it is not for us to sit here and debate on whether it's the future or not, but we have to look at other important issues that is dragging down African economy, and when we build them up, we can now be sure that we can now use cryptocurrency as part of African economy. For example, first of all, the education is low. That is why the foundation was not well built in Africa, because many people did not have the education that they need on cryptocurrency, and so a lot of people were deceived on it. And secondly, we have to consider also our infrastructure. The infrastructure is not well developed. So it's not for us to sit here and talk about cryptocurrency. Let's first of all make sure that we have enough electricity and enough network before we can start considering cryptocurrency as part of the African economy. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, there was really good points made on both sides, real powerful opening statements. So now let's get into it. So now the opening statements have been said. Team Cameroon said some good points about scams and lack of literacy on cryptocurrency, whereas Team Zimbabwe mentioned that it is good for economy and it will help make money better. What do you have to say about that, guys? Why, like, based on what the other team says, what are your thoughts based on that? So let's go to the teams. Okay, yes, Joseph, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Once again, I'm Joseph. I appreciate this opportunity. Well, I wanted to talk about, just to make a quick comment on the opening statement by the colleagues, the Cameroon side. Yes, they have talked about a foundation of the cryptocurrency, but here we are saying is the future. We are looking at today and tomorrow. So everything that comes, if you can look at the world today, there is what is called digitization, and companies, economies are aligning themselves with the digital transformation that is happening around the world. As such, we are moving from the traditional way of doing things, because previously there were borders around structures, banks, they were the ones that were in control of the economies. But now banks are no longer in control, because people are able to do whatever they can do in the comfort of their homes. So yes, the foundation might have been what has been presented, but we are looking at adaptation. Economy is about risk taking. So whatever that is associated, whatever good that comes, there are risks associated. That is why there are risk management facilities that have been put in place to control such kind of things like scams and the like. And I can assure you that if we want to have Africa, because Africa trades with the world, we are not independent, we are not just ourselves. And the trade is going on globally. So for us to have it well, we just have no choice but to adapt to the cryptocurrency because it is the new norm. Since the advent of COVID-19, there are many things that have changed. Like my brother said, there are even churches that previously were against the internet, but today people are embracing TikTok. They're embracing all social media platforms for the success of their businesses. So, yes, it is the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In Cameroon, points made. What are your thoughts?
Hello, everyone, um, and good afternoon to my fellow colleagues. I would like to say that I've listened, let's say, the presentation of representative from Zimbabwe and also for my fellow colleague. But me, I would like to emphasize on the fact that cryptocurrency is not the future of Africa, because I would like to, let's say, to rely on two main points. On the first one is, let's say, the infrastructure gap, because it will just bring out what we call the exclusion. Because what is really important to understand is simply the fact that a future that requires high-speed internet and constant electricity is a future that excludes almost 60% of rural Africans. In sub-Saharan Africa has the lowest internet penetration globally, the lowest. So relying on crypto creates what we call what I can call, sorry, a digital apartheid, where only the urban elite can participate, um, leaving rural community further behind. So that's why I think a technology that requires a smartphone and 4G to buy bread is not progress, it's exclusion, in my opinion. So the future must be inclusive, and it's not African for that way. There's the first one. And the second one, I would like to bring out the fact that most cryptocurrency are developed and owned by foreign entities. By adopting them, African hand over its monetary sovereignty. And that one is really important, because I would like to take the case of the Sango coin in Central African Republic, because they sell something like less than 10% of its target. That shows that even state-backed crypto experiments fail when they lack local trust and global control. So that is why I would like to adhere to say that with what we are fighting for, let's say, political independence and a stable economy. So we must not surrender our monetary independence to a digital algorithm, sorry. And yeah, that's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Um, Greetings, everyone. My name is Sharon from Zimbabwe. So my submission is that as Zimbabwe, we agree that cryptocurrency is the future, like my teammates just said. And one of the most important things that I wanted to bring forward is that if you go back in the history of everything that has happened in the world, in the early 2000s, with the introduction of the computer, we thought the world was about to end. But right now, if you move across Africa from Cape to Cairo, you'll find out that most of us have got some smart gadgets, either as a laptop or a smartphone that we're using. And now to support the reasons why cryptocurrency is the future, the remittances or the bank charges that people are charged in Africa are very high. compared to when they opt to use digital currency. And because of inflation issues, it is easier to have a digital savings account compared to just keeping your money in the bank, because due to the hyperinflationary economic environments that you operate in most African countries, you'll find that you've got high rates or high chances of losing your money if you keep it in the bank. So as Zimbabwe, we are agreeing that cryptocurrency is going to be the future because people want certainty, people want to save, people want something that they can rely on, something that they can say, this is going to be there. And it's also going to help them because most of the countries around in Africa right now have been regulating or sort of just agreeing with the use of cryptocurrency in their countries. That's my submission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Peter. Hello, Peter, are you there?
I swear, thank you.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. So on the first point made that crypto excludes people because it needs high internet and electricity, and also sub-Saharan Africa has low access. So low internet access has never stopped Africa from adopting digital infrastructure. It only delays it, and Africa always leapfrogs. And the World Bank shows that exclusion is mainly driven by costs, distance, and documentation, not by the absence of advanced technology. And also, crypto does not need high-speed broadband. It only needs the same mobile connectivity already used for digital payment. And Africa did not wait for perfect internet to adopt digital money, and it will not wait. It will not wait even now. And also, the ITU consistently shows that connectivity in Africa is growing each and every year, and you do not design the future using today's limitations. If low infrastructure disqualified technologies, then mobile money should never have succeeded in Africa, but it did massively. And crypto follows the same adoption path. And if you go to the second point that most crypto is owned by foreigners, we lose sovereignty. So foreign ownership of an asset does not remove national economic sovereignty at all. Africa's current economies already rely on foreign banks, foreign investors, foreign payment networks, and foreign capital. Yet no one says Africa is not sovereign because of that. And ownership of assets is not the same as control of infrastructure. And crypto networks are not owned by countries or companies. They are open infrastructure. And any African developer, startup, or government can build directly on them. You cannot be excluded from infrastructure that is open by design. And crypto actually increases African sovereignty because it reduces dependence on correspondent banks, foreign clearing systems, and restricted payment networks. And dependence is loss of sovereignty, not participation. Not participation. Thank you. Those are my points.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to the audience now. Lots were shared from both teams, valid points made, and basically it's kind of really important on both sides. So let's hear from the audience what they have to say. So please, if you would like to share something about this topic, your perspectives, do you agree or disagree that cryptocurrency is the future for Africa? Let me know. Let us know. Let us know. Let us talk. So Hannes says in the comment section, he says it will be helpful. So cryptocurrency would be helpful because it will reduce risks of carrying large quantities of physical currency of different countries. You just keep your money electronically, which is safe. So that is a point. Those who support the motion, they argue that yes, cryptocurrency has a way of keeping your money safe electronically instead of putting your money in a bank, for example. So that's the point that you're making. So thank you for your thoughts. Anyone else would like to share their thoughts? Let's just go with two people from the audience, and then we'll go back to the teams. Okay. Okay, let's go to Joseph, and then let's take one or two from the audience.
Thank you so much. I wanted to address also the fears of our brothers concerning the power reliance on electricity and the like, because of problems that Africa has faced for a long time in terms of power. The world now, Africa now is adopting the what they call the solar way, the green energy. So there are a lot of now alternative sources that are put in place, and companies and organizations are having what are called solar farms. So we should not be very much worried when it comes to the issue of power supply, because right now we using the alternative power sources. So I wanted just to bring to our enlightenment that we've got other alternative sources that we have apart from relying on electricity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, we have a comment here from Kaulate. So she says, I am well with crypto as long as the energy used is made greener. It takes a lot of power servers that mine crypto. As long as it's green, I'm good either way. Okay, so thank you, Kaulate. I think that is very important. If we're going for cryptocurrency, we must think about the environment. I think companies have that they have to have that point in the business models. They have to find a way to do the cryptocurrency, but also think about the environment in the long term. They must make sure that this cryptocurrency, whatever they're doing, it must not harm the environment. So thank you, Khalate, for your point. Okay, let's take a perspective from the Cameroon chapter. What are your thoughts? Because right now it's not looking good here, because the Team Zimbabwe had said a lot of points here. So we'd like to hear from you. Why do you dispute what they are saying? Is it totally wrong to have cryptocurrency in the African economies? What are your thoughts? So let's hear from Team Cameroon. What are your thoughts? What are their thoughts? Okay, go ahead, Tresa.
Okay, thank you once again. uh, Once again, I would like to emphasize uh, something that's really important. I do believe that Africa already has a digital revolution that works really well. It's called mobile money, like Orange Money, MTN Money, M-Pesa, and it's proven, inclusive, and regulated. Why gamble on an unproven experiment? So that's what I would like to say. And mobile money works on basic phone, no internet required. You reach the grandmother in the village, in the far corner your village. You are quite certain that your grandmother will receive money. It's regulated by African central banks. It protects consumer and allows for monetary policy, And it's also proven that sub-Saharan Africa accounts for, let's say, something like around 70% of the world's mobile money value. And over, I think, is around $800 billion in 2023. This is not a small experiment, it's a global success story built by Africa for Africa. So that's why I would like to say that a new financial system that does not work for most people, in my perspective, is useless. Mobile money is a financial system that already works for millions and millions of people. It has proven it can increase financial inclusion, facilitate trade, and support families. So why should we dismantle a bridge that is already carrying millions of people safely across the river to build a rope bridge that might collapse at any time? So that's what I can say. First of all, maybe my colleague will complete. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Peter, and then a question has been shared by the audience member. Let's read it after Peter. So Peter, let's just keep it short. Maybe you want to answer Trezor on what he said. Hello, Peter, are you there?
I swear already. Thank you. So when we say Africa already has mobile money and it works, and why replace it with crypto? So we are not dismantling mobile money here. We are just extending it. Crypto is not a replacement layer. It is an interoperability layer. And mobile money works inside countries but fails across borders. And a financial system that stops at national borders cannot support a continental economy. Mobile money networks are closed and they are siloed, and crypto networks are open and integratable. And Africa does not need more wallets; it needs shared rails. Mobile money still depends on banks and correspondent settlement behind the scenes, and crypto settles directly on chain. And direct settlement removes the expensive part of African payments. And also, mobile money is a user interface. Remember, in crypto is financial infrastructure. You do not need, like, you can't compare an app to a network. Yes, mobile money improves inclusion, but inclusion is not only about sending money locally. It is about receiving international payments, paying foreign suppliers, accessing global digital markets. And mobile money includes people local, and crypto includes them globally. So, and if you come to look at World Bank, it repeatedly highlights that cross-border payments in Africa remain expensive, slow, and fragmented. And mobile money solves domestic payments, not continental integration. And Africa is trying to build a single market through the African Continental Free Trade Area. And trade integration without payment integration will fail. You cannot integrate markets using fragmented payment systems. So we are not fixing what is broken, we are fixing what is missing. And mobile money does not provide open cross-border settlement, global digital market access, programmable financial services, and crypto does. And mobile money proves Africans are ready for digital finance, and crypto proves Africa is ready for digital financial infrastructure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let us wrap up the mobile money part, and we need to go to the question. So, Carissa, go ahead.
Okay, someone already mentioned about the environment. If everything is going to be a future, what we should bother about is the sustenance of our planet and our health and our survival as a people. And looking at cryptocurrency and the energy that it uses, and also the stress level, the financial stress. We're already having a lot of mental health issues, and it's now becoming a problem in Africa and the world at large. So if we are going to adapt anything for our economy, it should be something that is going to make us healthy and better and make our planet healthy and better. But the question we are asking now is that, will cryptocurrency provide us this? And the answer is certainly no, because the energy that it uses and the and the environmental hazards it can cause will cause humanity itself. So let the Zimbabweans put this into consideration and ask whether, if we adopt cryptocurrency as our future, will it really sustain humanity? And also, I heard about fraud, and it is about fraud, people avoiding fraud by avoiding carrying large sums of money here and there. Even everybody will need to be a high-tech person before using cryptocurrency, because you will not be able to control the hackers, and you have to depend on another person, knowing fully well that cryptocurrency's foundation is not stemming from an African origin. It came from foreign. It's a foreign currency that's been introduced to Africa, and we are learning and we are adapting into it. So how are we going to control these hackers? It's not easy on the internet when people hack, even normal Facebook accounts, everything, people are hacking it. What about What about cryptocurrency? Talking with somebody you are not even able to see, you don't trust, the trust problems. Are we really considering cryptocurrency as a future of African economy? Please, let's think about it again.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good points made from both teams. I'm sorry I have to go to this question because I think it kind of resonates with what Carissa is asking. So this is for both teams here. So Kamukelo asks, has a question. This is from the audience. So Kamukelo asks, I have a question for the team that says crypto is the future, or anyone who can answer. Is there any cryptocurrency that is currently effective in a global sense and which has the potential for sustainability either than Bitcoin? So again, there's this thing of trust, as Carissa said. Is there a level of trust in this? Can it be sustainable even in the long term? So I think that's the question that is thrown to you guys, to the teams. So I'll repeat the question. Is there any cryptocurrency that is currently effective in a global sense and which has the which has the potential for sustainability either than Bitcoin? So thank you, Kamukelo, for the question. Okay, let's go to Tinashe. His hand is raised. Tinashe, go ahead. Hello, Tinashe, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much. So with cryptocurrency, this is money, and like with any currency, of course, it has its ups and downs. Look at for instance, the US dollar. From the time that was that we were in the Great Depression, it was at its lowest, and now it is now peaked like any other economy. So it fluctuates, but that does not stop USA from planning, for instance. So the same with cryptocurrency. It has its highs and it has got its lows. But if you are then saying, for instance, if you are to look at the market capitalization for Bitcoin today, if you are saying it's over 500 billion, and we are saying the Zimbabwean economy itself, the Zimbabwean budget, we are speaking of around 15 billion as the country as a whole. So we are saying we have, in this market capitalization of Bitcoins, we have 500 billion divided by 15. We have, I don't know how many Zimbabwean economies that we have inside that Bitcoin. So it means it's actually it's a powerful currency to reckon with, and people are trading, and a lot is happening there. Same applies with Ethereum. Ethereum, which is the second largest cryptocurrency, it's at over $200 billion capitalization. So, and even Binance, it's at over 50 billion. So these are very, very big currencies that are trading. And for us to exist and for us to thrive as Africa, we also need to exist in these economies as well and be a powerhouse in these economies. And also remember, by Bitcoin, we are not saying, by cryptocurrencies, we are not saying we are going to rely on Bitcoins, we are not going to, we are going to rely on Ethereum. We can actually establish our own Africarium as a coin, as a cryptocurrency, our own Malium, or our own Zimbabwean or as a cryptocurrency. So a lot can happen, and there are a lot of dynamics that we can bring into play. But certainly, cryptocurrency is the future for Africa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Peter. Go ahead.
All right, thanks, Faith. So, yes, there are crypto systems that are already trusted, working at scale, and designed to be sustainable. And even if some fail, that does not disqualify the entire concept. So, not all cryptocurrencies are the same. Different networks serve different purposes. Some are designed for payments, some for smart contracts, some for settlement and interoperability. It's incorrect to judge all crypto by the performance or sustainability of one token or network. So, one coin's problem does not make the whole ecosystem invalid. Let's say, for example, a proof of stake, right, systems are vastly more energy efficient than traditional proof of work. Example, like the example networks use POS systems, secure transactions, reduce electricity waste, and scale sustainably. Crypto is evolving, not stuck at yesterday's design. And crypto is not a theoretical experiment. It is already used in practice by global financial firms, international payment systems, enterprise settlement protocols. Even some countries use crypto mechanisms in public sector services. Trust is earned through use, not futuristic claims. And also major players like banks, payment networks, multinational financial infrastructures. They are not experimenting casually. They are integrating crypto into real regulated financial products. Institutions do not adopt what is unreliable, they regulate it. And crypto networks are moving towards low energy validation, carbon offset programs, integration with renewables, algorithmic energy optimization. And sustainability is not a drawback, it's a technical priority. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's take one more person to answer the question and then let's go to Team Cameroon. Okay, so Joseph, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I will not waste much of the time. The question of sustainability is usually proven with a period. So if you can see, most of these have been around since 2009, 2014. They have stayed for over 11 years. I mean, what more we'll be looking at if something has been sustained for over a decade? You can see that that's a film thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And then to Team Cameroon, I think there's a question here for you. Is there any cryptocurrency that is currently effective in a global sense? Okay, so for you guys, is there any banking system or money system that is effective and can still be effective even in this digital age? And what sort of system has the potential for sustainability and it can move forward even in the digital age? So I will go to the audience a moment. I just want to hear from Team Cameroon. What are your thoughts on the question? So the question is, I've tweaked Damogelo's question a bit. So is there a traditional banking system or money system that is still effective today, even in this digital age? And does it have the potential for sustainability even in the digital age? So Treza or Carissa, your thoughts on the question? Hello, Treza or Carissa?
Okay, is there a traditional economic system that's been effective till date? If I'm not making a mistake. I didn't get the question clearly.
The question was, is there a money system, a traditional one, where it's still effective today, even in the digital age?
And to that question, I say yes, of course. Yes, of course, despite the fact that we have adopted a lot of transformation due to this digitalization, our traditional systems are still in place, and we use them together most at times and all the times. So that's my answer to the question. I don't know if it's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe Treza would like to give another answer. So Treza, on your side, is there a traditional money system that is still effective today in the digital age?
No, it's okay. In my perspective, I totally agree with what Carissa said, definitely. So there's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to the audience, hear what they have to say. Okay, I'll get to the question later. Okay, let's go to Mawa.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sifui. Thank you, everyone. Well, I have two parts to discuss here. Like the first one was connected to the crypto coin and the type of currencies that are available and if they are reliable or not. Like usually we're talking about like crypto coin as one of the most, or the Bitcoin as one of the most reliable currencies available. In addition, there is the USD coin, which is preferred by institutions due to its high transparency and regulatory alignment. And by the way, it follows the Genius Act of 2025. But well, the problem here is not about adopting a specific currency here. Like the problem is building the system. And by the way, Sifawi, like before asking your question, I was about to ask about the action plan. Like in case we're going to adopt a currency, or in case we're going to avoid it altogether, or maybe have an alternative system, what are the guarantees? Like, by the way, this is somehow related to the answer to your question. Like your question was about like applying or maybe adopting a system, a banking system that's reliable, and meanwhile, yeah, like including the digital excellence. So here, if we're talking about the safest traditional systems, like here you have the KfW, which is applied in Germany. You have also the RBC, which is currently ranked as the safest commercial bank in North America. Uh, on the other hand, when it comes to reliable digital first banking, you have the Bank of Georgia, which applies to the global digital winners 2020, 2025, 2026, which is considered like the world's best digital bank. Also, you have um, New bank leaders, and new bank are cited as global benchmarks for digital reliability. But this is not the point, because actually you have lots of banking systems. And by the way, like if you remember, like when you have international inflation, many economies are hurt badly. So as an African continent, we should work on having some kind of alternative system that can prevent the international impact of such crises. Like imagine that you have this kind of connection to any international system. So in case you have lots of economic crises, so do you think that the economy of Africa is really willing to carry the burden of these failures? So in my opinion, we should look for a tailored system that can take all our weaknesses into consideration, with all due respect to all the points that both teams were sharing, either regarding applying the crypto coin system or avoiding it altogether. Of course, we can avoid it altogether, but on the other hand, we have lots of concerns, and I'm going to summarize them in specific areas. Like when it comes to volatility, like all of a sudden maybe you have hundred thousands of dollars in as the value of the coin that you have, but in a day and a night you may lose it altogether. So imagine a whole business is just depending on bitcoins or any other currency, because they like almost all of them have the same problem. So what's the solution at this point? So this is a point. Another point is connected to the illegal use of bitcoins, and of course like there are backdoors through which they can use them without tracking it. So imagine committing crimes using it. What's the solution in this case, and how are we going to integrate other agencies and other institutions into this? Because it's about having different like interactions and connection to other entities in the country. Like should we
Yeah.
include maybe a security system into this process? And finally, what's the solution if the system is hacked? What's the backup plan? So in brief, what's the action plan? And this is for the team supporting the adoption of the crypto coin. And on the other hand, in case we're not going to depend on it totally, or even if we're going to avoid it altogether, what's the solution to make a more powerful economic system? Even if we're going
Okay.
to depend on the currency, is not going to take it down.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So to the two teams, this is a question for you guys. What is the action plan? What is the long-term solution? Well, not solution, a plan, so that both systems can actually work in the long term. And it's, do you have any contingencies for when things go wrong? So that is the question raised. Okay, okay, let's start with that question, and then we go to Kamokhela's question because she has brought in another question. Okay, so Peter, go ahead.
All right, thank you. I would like to start on volatility. So volatility belongs to speculative tokens, remember, not the whole crypto system. And the real payment layer uses stable coins pegged to real currencies. So we don't use shares to buy bridge, to like kind of like to buy bread. We use stable payment instruments. So we use regulated stable coins and settlement token for payments, not volatile assets, and we regulate exchange rates and provide through the reserve banks for each and every country, for example. And volatility is solved by product choice and regulation, not by banning the network. And also on crypto is used for crime and illegal activity. So crime exists in every financial system. Cash is still the most used tool for crime globally. And the problem is crime, not cryptocurrency. Blockchain transactions are public, permanent, and traceable. You can follow crypto, you cannot follow cash. So we can enforce, for example, KYC and ML rules at exchanges and payment gateways using standards from financial.
Hello, Peter, you broke off there. You were breaking there. Okay, let's move on. We'll come back to Peter. So the question, here's a question here from Kamokelo. He has raised another question. This is for both teams. So she asks, do we think Africa is ready to incorporate crypto given the nature of our digital literacy? So digital literacy meaning, do we know how to budget, how to finance, how to save, all those things, how to do transfers, for example, depositing, all those things. Could we as Africans incorporate crypto in the digital literacy curriculum, for example? So yeah, so that is the question. Thank you, Kamogelo. I'll say the question again. Do we think Africa is ready to incorporate crypto, given the nature of our digital literacy? So digital literacy is basically learning how to budget, how to finance, how to save, how to deposit, stuff like that. Can crypto be incorporated in digital literacy? Okay, go ahead, Tinashe.
In terms of, thank you so much. In terms of Africa being ready, like I said in my initial response, I would treat cryptocurrency as a technology. And if it is a technology, it is an economic technology. And if it is an economic technology, if you are treating like any technology, it has got various level of adoption. We have early adopters, late adopters, laggards, and stuff like that. If you are to look at the adoption curve of technology, and in Africa, unfortunately, in terms of economic technologies, look at your e-wallet. It's really never taught in the schools or in any curriculum. But people, they come on board and they are self-taught. And I think it's not only the modern economy. Even way back, if you are to look at even the barter trade, for instance, people would learn from those that have traded to say, if you realize that a gram of gold is equivalent to 2 square meters of cloth. So they learned, and the economy sustained itself, and rates were formed back then to say an ounce of gold is equivalent to 3 square meters of cloth. So an economy was established, and the people had to learn the technologies and the languages around the barter trade. And now coming to cryptocurrency, the people also have to learn, but to then really say, are we ready today? Are we ready to adopt it today? It might be another point, but to say, is it the future? In the future, yes, in the future we are ready. Remember, your e-wallet, your e-money that you know have in Zimbabwe, we have EcoCash, and in Nigeria they have many e-wallet platforms that they use. In Zimbabwe we have many, of course, but EcoCash is the prominent one. You see, when it came on board, it was associated with the youth. It was associated with those that were going to universities and schools. But now, our old grandmothers in the rural areas, if you want to send money there, they simply say put it on EcoCash, because they can access the EcoCash and they have means to access it. But this technology is self-taught on its own. And like any other economy, technologies of economics, they are usually self-taught. And by that alone, Africa is, and also remember, Africa has got a very, very critical population of the youth that are eager to learn and that are eager to experiment. And this critical population poses is the right field for growth and the right field for adoption of cryptocurrencies. Hence, in Nigeria, it is topical now because Nigeria is a youth-driven economy and Africa is such. So those are my submissions in as far as readiness of Africa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then let's go to Team Cameroon. What are your thoughts on the question? So the question is, do we think Africa is ready to incorporate crypto given the nature of our digital literacy? So Teresa, would you like to answer that question, please? Based on the no perspective.
Okay, thank you, Sifue. Regarding the question, I would like to say that I'm going along with Mawa because she did really well. And I would like to say two main things. The first one is, I think the problem with cryptocurrency is, let's say, the currency, the Bitcoin or whatever the name. But the problem is not the technology, because regarding the technology, what we call blockchain, we have to separate cryptocurrency with, let's say, the technology. And regarding the technology, I think it's a tool for transparency, and it can be used, and it's already using to secure online titles and help solving the problem of insecure online rights for women. And it's also used by European Union to track supply chains for cocoa and coffee, and it make government contract transparent. So that's what I can say. But once again, I would like to emphasize on the fact that the long-term solution, and it's not totally to let's say to ban crypto more, meaning but in my perspective, once again, I do believe that we have to achieve, first of all, universal electrification first, because once every home, every school and hospital has reliable power, then excess energy can be considered for other uses. So the priority must be people, then industry, then speculation. So that's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your points. So the meaning here is basically funding for this. Is there enough funding? Is there too much funding of this? Is it really necessary? The amount of funds that go into cryptocurrency must be balanced so that the other things are not forgotten. So that was an interesting perspective there. So I'd like to throw in a question to both teams here. This is just one last question. I need a quick answer for this one. So the question is, does Africa have the infrastructure to support widespread crypto adoption? So does it have the infrastructure? Is it, forget about it being virtual, like what we are doing now. Can there be a physical place where cryptocurrency can happen? Do we have the infrastructure? Is materials for that building, for example, available, and can it be done? Can it be built? Can cryptocurrency have a building and not only have virtual meetings or virtual or electronic transactions? Can maybe there's a physical building that a person can go to and then do their cryptocurrency there? So that is the question that I wanna give to you guys. The question again: does Africa have the infrastructure to support widespread crypto adoption? Okay, let's go to Peter and then Tinashe, and then Joseph, and then let's go to Peter first. Then we go to Treza. Then we go to Tinashe, and then we need to wrap things up. Okay, so let's go to Peter.
All right, thank you, sir. So yes, Africa already has the minimum viable infrastructure for crypto, and it is really expanding fast. And Africa already runs a large-scale digital finance on mobile networks, remember, and the same connectivity layer crypto needs exactly. And according to World Bank, the biggest barriers to inclusion are costs and access to institutions, not lack of technology. So connectivity is growing every year across the continent as tracked by the International Telecommunications Union. And Africa does not need perfect infrastructure to start. It only needs enough infrastructure to scale. And if Africa's infrastructure was sufficient for mobile money at national scale, then it is sufficient enough for crypto at digital scale as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Treza. Your answer to the question. And repeat, does Africa have the infrastructure to support widespread crypto adoption? Based on your perspective of the no in general. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Tinashe.
Thank you very much. We when it comes to this issue of does it have sufficient infrastructure, we have to look at it from a point to say, we with cryptocurrency we are not basically looking at the physical infrastructure, because by it being crypto, it means it is a virtual, it is an online, it is an currency, so to speak. And we have to look at what the statistics are saying in terms of because we look at the basic, let's consider just one basic factor of mobile technology in terms of the phones, the statistics in Africa. What are they saying? You see that in terms of mobile penetration rate in Africa as of 2023, Africa has a penetration rate of 85% as of 2023. In terms of mobile subscriptions, we are saying Africa has surpassed over a billion people. Over a billion people, they now have a SIM card. And we are saying, even in terms of a smartphone adoption, we are saying around 45% of the Africa's population, it now has a mobile phone. And also in terms of internet usage, we are saying around 300 million people, they are now active. And if you are looking at the total population of Africa, vis-a-vis these statistics that we've mentioned, we are still young and we are still behind. But it means the future is still ahead of us. And in terms of technology, in terms of adoption of smartphones, the future is still ahead of us. And if the adoption is to rise from the 45% that we are saying to 100, to assume, say, 90%. So it generally means that cryptocurrency, in terms of economic technologies, it means Africa will be ahead. And to that effect, cryptocurrency has space in that 85%. And that is the future that we are referring to. Therefore, it then buttresses our point that cryptocurrency is the future of Africa. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Team Cameroon. Their answer to the question, does Africa have the infrastructure to support widespread crypto adoption? So let's try to squeeze in a perspective from there. So anyone from Cameroon, are you here? Treza, your answer to the question, or Benedicte? Okay, let's take one from the audience. Maybe you have an answer to the question. So the question is, does Africa have the infrastructure to support widespread cryptocurrency? Crypto adoption. So you'd answer yes, you'd answer no, and please give reason, like maybe 2 reasons why you say yes or no. Okay, so okay, let's move on. Okay, so I see in the chat box, Peter shared a comment. So Peter says, if Africa already has a working mobile money and crypto is unnecessary, then how exactly will the single African market under the African Continental Free Trade Area settle cross-border payments instantly and cheaply between different mobile money systems without building a new open shared payment rail like crypto? So those are Peter's thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so I think we are almost out of time. Let us go to concluding thoughts. So guys, to the teams, what are your concluding thoughts based on this topic? How do we go forth from here? Is there a way traditional money systems and cryptocurrency can work together? Yes or no? Let us hear your thoughts. Let's do a concluding statement. Okay, so for this one, you have 1 minute. So Peter, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So Africa is ready for crypto. Mobile money proves Africans are ready for digital finance. Crypto builds on that existing behavior, scaling into cross-border, continental, and global markets. And also, crypto solves real problems like low financial inclusion, high remittance costs, slow settlement, and lack of youth access to global markets. And also, these are not speculative issues. These are everyday economic realities. Even if crypto faces some risks are very, very manageable. For example, volatility, we can solve that by stable coins and regulated products. Crime, we can solve that by know your customers, which are very necessary on each and every bank. And a traceable blockchain. When it comes to EX and stuff, mitigated by licensed custodians, distributed architecture, and cybersecurity. And we are not gambling with Africa's future here. We are building resilient, inclusive, and modern financial infrastructure. And critics defend old systems that already exclude millions. And Zimbabwe defends a future-proof system that empowers youth, connects economies, and increases sovereignty. And Africa does not need permission to innovate. Crypto is not a threat. It is the infrastructure Africa has been waiting for. And that is why cryptocurrency is the future of African economies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Treza. Your concluding thoughts. Hello, Treza, are you there?
Okay, first of all, I would like to apologize. I'm deeply sorry. So if I was silenced, it was due to some professional reason. So regarding my closing statement, I've heard the pre-presentation of the Zimbabwe team, and once again, I've heard let's say what Mawa said, and I would like to end with this. It's just like uh, cryptocurrency is a tool for speculation and for speculators. So people should be aware of it. And I don't think it's a foundation for nation. And Africa's future lies in strong institution, inclusive infrastructure, and regulated innovation like mobile money. Um, I think, in my perspective, uh, we must build our future on the hard work of our people, not on the volatile algorithms of the digital unknown. So that's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else like to share their thoughts before we close off? Maybe one or two things about cryptocurrency and the topic. Okay, so I think we can close. Let us pause here for the debate topic and let us conclude the session. So for cryptocurrency has a strong potential to transform African economies, particularly in promoting financial inclusion and cross-border trade. However, without strong regulation, digital literacy, and infrastructure development, it may create new economic risks instead of solving existing problems. The future likely lies in balanced integration rather than complete replacement of traditional systems. And then adding to that, there are still communities who still rely on traditional finance. They are not, I would say, up to speed with the digital age, the cryptocurrency. So we should not forget about them, because they still rely on this, and for them, traditional money systems works. So in order to make, I would say, both points happy, is that we need to educate each other. We need to come up with ways to incorporate both of them and to make them work. Because some of these people who are more on the traditional side, they are scared of cryptocurrency because of scams, because of lies, because of there's lack of transparency, for example. That's why they have that fear that no, cryptocurrency, I'd rather not. So with that, there should be education. There should be like a course, for example, the digital literacy, financial literacy in curriculums in schools. If we have that, then people will be more open and would not brush cryptocurrency aside and learn to adapt, but not forget about the traditional bank systems. So overall, I think it is a balanced approach. What matters is that there needs to be some sort of understanding between the two. They must work together, because we are in a digital age. Sooner rather than later, the traditional bank system might be not void, I should say. It won't work anymore. So the traditional bank finance needs to find a way to keep up with the digital age. Whereas with cryptocurrency, better transparency, all the details must be legit and valid. Then I think if that is the case, then more people will be open to cryptocurrency. So that is the conclusion for today. Let us pause there. And yeah, good points shared by both teams. So thank you so much for sharing.